Well, Machiavelli is off in exile. He's living a life that is somewhat uncomfortable for him. He is very much a man of the city, a man of politics, and to be exiled off on an estate somewhere is not really where he wants to be. But he suffers through it. And at one point, he writes a letter, a very famous letter, that is to his friend Francesco Vettori. And in it, he outlines his day. He describes his day as getting up and going about very routine stuff, ordinary tasks of the day. When he leaves in the morning, he'll tuck a book, either Dante or Petrarch, or he says sometimes some of the Roman classics like Ovid into his back pocket, and then he wanders off and he engages with the world. And he'll talk to shopkeepers, and he'll talk to farmhands, and he'll talk to the people working on the estate, and he'll have dinner with them, and he'll commune with them in the way that ordinary people just talk, and just talk about ordinary things. And you get the sense that he's just going through the motions, marking day by day. But then, at the end of the day, he gets his time. And this is when his letter takes a little bit of a turn. And you can see his passion come out, and also his personal suffering. Whereas everything he's reported before that is kind of lackadaisical. Yeah, I did this, I did that, I hung out with these guys, whatever. It becomes very intimate when he talks about returning home. In the evening, I return to my house and go into my study. At the door, I take off the clothes I have worn all day, mud-spotted and dirty, and put on regal and courtly garments. Thus, appropriately clothed, I enter into the ancient courts of ancient men, where, being lovingly received, I feed on that food which alone is mine, and which I was born for. I am not ashamed to speak of them, and to speak with them, and to ask the reasons for their actions, and they courteously answer me. For 4 hours I feel no boredom and forget every worry. I do not fear poverty, and death does not terrify me. I give myself completely over to the ancients. You feel the connection there, the humanity. Machiavelli wears a lot of masks in life, and you can fault him for a lot of different things and make suppositions about how he really feels about this, that, or the other thing. But here he's just perfectly human, talking about how he doesn't really feel connection with the world around him, but when he gets to be alone in his study and he plays dress up, essentially, he puts on nice, clean clothes, and who doesn't feel better when they put on clean clothes? You can leave aside all of the cares of the world, all of the common annoyances that you have to deal with in life, and become more yourself, perhaps, an ideal form of yourself, because he is able to converse, as he puts it, with the ancients, with the great minds of the Greek and Roman tradition that have been handed down to him. And he can ask them questions, and they can respond to him, and he can just engage with the text and think on his natural level. These are the people that perhaps he is most comfortable with. He's out of place in the modern world, in the common world. But he comes alive in those moments, in those very specific 4-hour blocks, where all he has to do is be himself, or the ideal form of himself in an ideal world. And it's that keeps him going. You get the sense that everything else during the day is about leading up to that moment, and that's what he wants. So he can get through all of that stuff during the day, all of that commonality, all of that talking about ordinary things that he really doesn't care about but has to do. He can get through that if he keeps his mind on those 4-hour chunks where he gets to experience the ideal. And it is that lets him get through that day. thinking about the ideal, holding on to that vision and embracing it, even when all the other stuff is dragging him down. That is a deeply personal statement on his part. It's a deeply engaging and charming statement, honestly, for its humanity and its vulnerability. But it's also a mission statement for the Renaissance as a whole. In Italy, and as it radiates out throughout all of Europe, here it is the sense that you can get through the ordinary stuff of your day, all of the commonality, all of the regular concerns, if you just keep your mind on the ideal and you leave open a space for you to engage with that on the highest levels that you can reach. That's what he's saying here. And it's beautiful. It's inspiring. It calls to all of us to maybe take the occasional chunk of time. Maybe not 4 hours, maybe not sitting in a library engaging with ancient authors, but just 4 hours to try and engage with something more perfect than the world around us ever allows, because we might not fit in the world around us. Who hasn't felt that way from time to time? But in our minds, we can conjure these images of perfection. And those moments can help see us through everything else that we have to go through in the course of an ordinary, mundane day.